Yes, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Ghostoul Podcast. Did you miss me? It's been a few weeks and you've had to put up with just my recorded videos. Well, today we have a guest. We have a lovely lady who I've known for many years, and we're just going to get straight to it. Joining me this evening, we have Natalie Clark.
Hi, Miki.
How are you? Hope you're good.
Yeah, how are you?
I am very well, thank you. Busy day at work, digging graves, and come home to chat to your lovely self. So it's all good. So it's been how many years since we've seen each other?
I think it's got to be about 8 or 9 years now.
Wow.
Since we last investigated together anyway, because we've done previous investigations. We did Northampton, didn't we, before we did Grendon Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a while. Known you for at least 12 years, I think.
And you're lucky. Oh, that's awesome. Right, so we've got a few people in the house tonight. We've got Tracy from Australia. Morning, Miki. Hope you're well. 4 a.m. Got my coffee ready. Good morning, Natalie. Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Tracy.
Oh, yeah, because the clocks went forward here, and I think they went back in Australia. So at certain points, it's 6 a.m. Other times, it's 4 a.m. Crazy. That's dedication for you. So, Natalie, before we start, if you could give the people that are watching and listening just a little rundown of who you are, what you do, that would be awesome.
Sure. So as I said, I'm Nat. I've been interested in the paranormal for a long time. My first ever investigation was at a place called Peterborough Museum. You probably know well of that, Miki. That would have been when I was sort of 16. And I think you get the bug, you get hooked, you go on these events, you might have an experience, and then you're hooked instantly. And that was what really hooked me into the paranormal from there. Following that, I carried on doing more events, as you do. Sort of on the fence, wasn't quite sure what I believe. I think as any investigator goes into anything, they should go in open-minded, always slightly sceptical, not Scooby-Dooing it too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, over the years, I've had some amazing experiences and things that I question, I guess. So 6 years ago, I joined Haunted Happenings. You would more than likely have heard of them if you've been on paranormal events. Fantastic company to work for, and the people are amazing. And yeah, I've been there for 6 years, and I'm so privileged because I've managed to do a few locations on the bucket list with them. And as always, great to meet guests of a like mind that are also interested in the paranormal, and you get to know some great people, pick up sort of things along the way. Yeah, I've got some amazing places that we've been working down south. As I keep mentioning to you, Miki, Musty Dorchester Prison, that's one of my favourite places of all time to go to. Yeah, I've had some real personal experiences there, definitely. And a few others down south, which are amazing. If you look up Haunted Happenings, you can sort of target the areas that you want to investigate. So if you're down south, you can put your postcode in, and you can look up some really good places. But obviously, they're all over the country anyway. And so, yeah, I've been doing that for the last sort of 6 years. And I'm finally sort of slightly going on a different direction now, nearly completing on a 400-year-old cottage, which I will be opening up to the public with some really incredible history behind it. Yeah, so that's coming up.
Wow. Sounds like you're very busy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been busy. It's been great though. This is the dream, right? So for me, working in, for Haunted Happenings, it's not a job. It's a passion that I have. I'm really privileged to be able to see these places and the history, and being able to go off and do my own sort of venture alongside with Haunted Happenings, working with them also. Hopefully this time next year it'll all be up and running.
Oh, that's awesome. So Alyssa Smith, hello. Hope you're good. Thanks for joining us. Gayla, how are you? Hope you're well. Gayla's in America. So we've got an international guests watch list today. So you mentioned going on ghost hunts. What captured your spark? What was it that wanted you to get into the paranormal? Was it seeing a past relative, watching something on TV, reading the story, ghost books? What was it that started it all off?
I think from a young age, you're quite susceptible and open-minded, and I think probably most people have experiences when they're younger, but don't know any different. I think when I was younger, I think I picked up on a few things, but obviously you don't question anything at that age. You know, it is what it is. You see it and it's there. And it was a house that we lived in. My granddad previously lived in it. He'd moved next door, but his wife had passed away in the house.
Yeah.
And I was seeing her for a while, but I obviously so young, I didn't quite understand that she was completely gone. But my mum also, she was quite sensitive, and she sort of mentioned that she could see her as well to sort of comfort me. And there was a few little things there, nothing scary. I mean, it was comforting, I think. Years went by, and then I moved into a cottage. It was an old farm cottage in Dorset, and it was, again, very old, crystal windows, barn doors, complete what you'd expect a haunted house to look like.
Yeah.
And there were some things happening in the house, and couldn't explain it. I mean, doors would open and close. You'd put it down to the winds, maybe because of the crystal windows, but then it got to the point where the pendulum on the clock would stop and unhook itself, and then it would unhook itself and then go again. And the dogs would just completely melt down and go crazy at nothing in the room, and you'd find them at night hiding somewhere, shaking in the corner. And just really strange stuff, furniture moving, just a real uneasy presence, really, in the cottage. And it got to the point where it was quite scary, and I was on my own quite a lot in there, and I didn't really know what to do. And my husband's like very sceptical and didn't really know it was getting worse. And I say I was on my own quite a lot in the house, and one night all the chairs just moved away from the dining table. We'd find the lights turned on, and got to the point where we looked up what to do. And there's a whole department devoted to the church that actually will come out and do a home visit, and they will cleanse your house for you. And so last resort, we didn't really know what to do, so we rang them, and they had to get permission from the Bishop of Salisbury to come to this house, do a full-on, it was a blessing in the house. We did Holy Communion, red wine crosses above every door, every mirror, every sort of screen that they would say could be a possible portal. And they were there. I mean, I took a couple of hours off work. They were there all day. I had to pull a sickie for the whole day because I couldn't go anywhere. And at the time, it was on a farm, so the back, there was about a couple of acres out back, but it was all overgrown, so we'd never been down there. And this priest, I mean, he was going around the house. He said he believes it was coming from the land. It wasn't actually the house. So he sort of had a walk down. He sort of managed to get through part of all the bushes and trees, and he came to this massive tree at the very bottom, and it had a stone circle around the bottom of the base of the tree, and a fresh dead crow nailed to the tree. And he believed there was witchcraft going on the land. So someone there, I mean, it was a state. It was a huge piece of land, and there was people on the land that you probably, you know, on the estate that you wouldn't even know would have been down there. And they believed there was magic being practiced on the land, and it was almost like what he said was a portal. Now, this is crazy coming from a priest, because you want comfort and you don't want to hear this. You know, you're like,
no, exactly.
To clear it. No. So he did this cleansing, and it was all good. It quietened down. 6-7 months later, things started to pick up again. It started again. We called them back, and they said, "Look, it's never going to go. This is the land you're on. It's bad land." And we got to the point we upped and left one night because it just got so bad. We upped and left, and we had 6 months on the lease. We just threw it, went and moved out. You know, it just got too much. And yeah, that was probably one of the experiences that will stick with me forever. Yeah, that one.
Wow. So where was that, in England? Yeah.
Yes, it was in Dorset.
Oh, yeah. So see, if that was in America, they'd have made a film about that.
It could have been the Conjuring House. It's the English version of the Conjuring House. Honestly, even the big creepy tree out the back. You know. Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's just sitting there ready for a book, or.
You know what? I need to write that down one day. I need to write all that down because it probably could
Yeah,
be.
do it. Well,
Yeah.
that's the sort of thing that people are interested in nowadays.
Yeah, and I guess that was a turning point where I say when I'm many investigations, and I've always gone in with a skeptical mind because I think you can overthink things, and especially if you're in that environment, that's you can almost wind yourself up a little bit. But that I know I saw. I say to every guest on our paranormal events, I say I can tell you what I've experienced, but at the end of the day, you've got to experience have your own moment. You've got to experience your own thing. Before you can be a believer. You can't sway someone. You just have to experience it.
Exactly, and that's the best way to do it. Let them decide.
Yeah, 100%.
So we've got some more people here. We've got Carl Guntrip. Hey guys, hope you're well. You've got a great investigator on here tonight.
Hi, Carl.
We have Beam Mobile. Hello all, looking good, Nat. Adders, hello Miki. Hi Nat. Great seeing you. So interesting and fascinating. Been on a few investigations with you and the Haunted Happenings team. All the best, Sarah and Jules. Exploring the entity. Hey guys, hope you are well. You got a great investigator on tonight, Miki. Done Shepton Mallet and Dorchester with Natalie, and she's one of the best. Got a fan club here, isn't it?
Yeah.
We got Niall from my Dad's Lads and Kebabs podcast. Miki, turn your green light. I always moan that my screen makes me look green sometimes, and he just takes a piss. So
I look red. That's just because I've been in the garden with the sun, and I'm English, so it instantly burns.
we go red. Oh wow! So you said that you worked for Haunted Happenings. How the fact that they are potentially probably the best, or the biggest, I would say, not the best. I'm not judging anybody. The biggest paranormal events team in the country. I used to work with your former owner many years ago, Hazel. How did that happen? Was there an interview process? Were they looking for local people? How did you get on the team initially?
I'd been a guest on many events, so I knew a lot of the hosts. Again, I used to go with Haunted Happenings because for me, they were the most professional group going. And the hosts were always so good and helpful. And I guess they got sick of seeing me turning up on every event. They offered me a space. I was at Ancient Ram actually, and got chatting to one of the hosts that I'd met, and said that I'd be really interested. And so got chatting to Hazel. I went to, I think it was Shepton Mallet was my first shadowing event.
Yeah.
And then I did Dorchester Prison, and then I was sort of already sort of there, I guess, halfway there. I'd met everybody, they knew me, and yeah, it was quite quick for the process. But again, I'd done it for so long, it was just natural for me to fit in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose you felt at home, knowing the staff, knowing how they work, how the vigils would be looking throughout the night in all the different locations. So I suppose the transition was quite easy.
Yeah, so it was different because you have to remember you're actually meant to be hosting, not investigating yourself. So yeah, but again, the team are great that we've got, so they're very helpful.
Yeah, well, I've always gotten well with the Haunted Happenings team when I've worked with them. So yeah, I think you picked a good team there.
Yeah, I definitely think we're picking up on a few locations back down this way. We're picking up some interesting places coming up, and they're doing fantastic. So it's good to be part of the team.
That's all you can ask for, really.
Yeah.
Exploring the entity. Also, the best looking ghost hunter I've seen. Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Only joking. That's obviously for you.
90% of the time is in the dark, let me remind you.
Yeah. Unless you've got night vision, then you're glowing green. It's fine. SK, how are you, mate? Hope you're good. So obviously you've been on loads of ghost hunts. You've seen things in the old houses back in when you were younger. Are you a believer?
Yes. Yeah. If you've been on an event with me and I've explained a few things I've experienced, if anyone's asked, again, I keep preaching Dorchester Prison, and I think anyone that's been there will vouch for me. It's got a different vibe to other prisons. It's definitely got a darker vibe. It goes right back to the 11th century. Before it was a prison, it was an actual castle. So there's the ruins of the castle, and then 17th century, then obviously turns to prison. So I think there's layers of history there, and definitely it's definitely got something about it. And I personally had an experience there that definitely made me a believer. So, and like I say to people, you've got to go through that before you can say you actually believe in something.
So what was the event that happened to you?
So in the chapel, they've got the chapel there, closed down 2013. So there's still sort of things laying about from when it was closed down, and there's a prayer book that's on the side. And it's a big old thick book. It's sort of like a bigger version of a Bible, if you like.
Yeah.
And, it was set up on the side, and we had a couple of guests. We were just walking around, and as we were leaving out the chapel, this book flew about 6 foot across the room and just hit the floor. And I mean, the spine came off of it, the pages ripped. I mean, it come out with some force. It wasn't just a falling off the side. And it was all just a bit strange. And obviously, the guests saw it, and we couldn't really explain what had happened. And following that, there was a few other little things in the night which were a bit strange, couldn't really explain. And I went home, and some stuff started happening at home, and I don't know what quite happened, what it was. If something followed me, I don't know. But I'd say the scariest thing that happened was one night we had the old 3-story townhouse, and my bedroom was on the very 3rd floor, and the children's bedroom on the 2nd floor. And my eldest would have been about 8 or 9 then, and it was about middle of the night. I was awake, and I heard her. She ran up the stairs, got into bed with me, put her arm around me, and I'm sort of rubbing her arm. She's freezing cold, so I said, "I'll take you back to your bed." So I turned over to pick her up, and there was nothing in bed with me. I don't know what it was. It just completely freaked me out. Yeah, and that did sort of, can't explain it. I was fully awake. Just don't know what that was. Don't know. Whether it be from Dorchester Prison or whether you pick things up along the way, I guess it depends what you believe in. But yeah, that was strange.
So do you think you potentially could have brought something back home with you?
It's hard to say. I mean, I do think it depends what you believe. I mean, why would something leave somewhere it's been for hundreds of years to follow me home? I don't know. Or it could have just been, I really can't explain what it was. And again, that's why I think you get hooked into these paranormal investigations. You have an experience and then you go back for more almost. It's like you want to find out more. Definitely on edge when I go back there. And I think, like Carl will say to you, Dorchester has a different vibe to itself. And other people that have been there, if you're on here now, you probably, if you've experienced it, will understand what I'm saying. But we very rarely have a night there where it's quiet. It's consistent every single time.
Yeah. So with this Dorchester prison, that sparks my interest. I might book an event with you guys. Question for you: am I allowed to film when I'm there?
You are allowed to film as long as you're not filming other guests.
Yeah, so you're filming like activity or whatever is in the room. Yeah, you don't go around filming people's faces.
Yes, yeah.
Not directly. Okay, because there's a few teams that don't like to film, and if I want to go on an event, I want to film it. So obviously, out being respectful of the guests, obviously. So that's good to know. That's good to know. I might have to book one.
Yeah, just give us a shout, and I'll have a chat with Alex or Nat, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy for you to join.
Yeah. Awesome. So we've got a question from Exploring the Entity. Ask Natalie who is her favourite ghost hunter she's investigated with. If she doesn't say Carl Guntrip, I won't be happy. On the spot.
What can I say? I probably have to say my teammate Nigel. There you are.
Yeah. Neutral answer. Good one.
Question.
So obviously you've been on lots of events, ghost hunts with haunted happenings, and you've also done private like investigations with friends, etc. What are the differences that you find between them both?
Between going on a private, the companies, or private as opposed to hosting?
As in a public event that when you're working, how does that differ from if you went out with, say, me or whoever and friends, and we just went to a location? How does the investigations differ?
I would say hosting an event, you can't be suggestive. Obviously, you don't give names out. If, for instance, if I felt something or saw something, I wouldn't say that necessarily, because then that might be putting that thought into someone else's head and suggesting something. And we have a total hands-off policy. So you could be watching someone do something, an investigation, for instance, and you can't get involved at all because it's hands-off policy. You're there just to facilitate them. Whereas we recently booked out the Rifles Museum privately, just as an event for a couple of us in the team just around Christmas time. And it was fantastic. So I think over the years of doing it, you pick up little ways of maybe that you might not think of to be able to sort of try and communicate, or techniques, for instance. And you can then fully go all out on that, because it doesn't matter what people think of you, because you're not working as such. So yeah, and it doesn't matter what you say. If you say what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, you're not. For instance, you're not get someone complain about anything because you're not working. So it's a bit of a free for all.
Yeah, that's good, because a lot of companies that I've been on in the past, not recently, but in like a while ago, they would, like the team members, etc., they would lead the vigils, they would direct the vigils, and it's like, well, that's not how it should be. It should be, if someone asks them a question, what do you think this is, then maybe you can give them what your thoughts are. But when it's being led, I think that's not the best way to run your business, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that's with Haunted Happenings, that's what we promote, and when we're working, we always say on intros, we're here to facilitate your night. We're not here to participate at all. There for you guys. If you need guidance, we're there. And again, with this project, with the cottage, this is what I really want. I want to be able to open it up to people to go in, to have their own personal experience. It's their night, and if they can go in there and they can investigate however way they want to, it's a small group, it's very private, and I just, that's what I'm going for. Because for me, is when I go on a ghost hunt, or if I go on an event, it would be, I love the lone time side of it. I like to go off, just get lost and take some equipment with me if that's the way. But I always say as well, you're your own best tool. If you're going on an investigation, listen to yourself. If you're sensing something, if you're picking up on any emotions, things like that, you can really zone out if you're in a small group, for instance, and you can just take yourself off and experience like that.
Yeah, that project for me sounds absolutely amazing. That's something that I'd always wanted to do, is ever since going to East Drive and seeing what Bill has done there, and he's just like coined the market, and it's like crazy to have a haunted location that you allow teams to come in and respectfully like investigate it, and just, I don't know, you could just chill out there and, oh, there's a ghost over there, hello. The fact it's your building, that would be, for me, that would be an amazing thing to achieve in the future.
I'm so excited about it. I say it's 400 years old plus. So the lady that's in there now, what drew me to it, I went to see many places before this one came up. I went to see a couple of old chapels. I went to see a really old cottage, only a stone throw actually. I've heard through word of mouth, through the window cleaner told me that they can't sell it. So first I'm like, well, I'll go and look at it. If there's a ghost in there, I'm there. So that was the reason they couldn't sell it. People had a history, but it just wasn't right. And I knew that I would find the right place. It just might take some time, and I would, you would know when it was the right place. And I was just scrolling on Rightmove one night in bed, and this cottage came up, and the first thing that was up was the picture of the witch marks above the fire and the history of the witches in the village. And I was like, that's the one. So I literally booked to see it that week. And all I can say is, again, if you've been on investigations like yourself, Miki, you just pick up on a vibe when you go in somewhere. The more you do these things, you tune in more to yourself. And when I walked in there, it was almost palpable. I could feel that there was just, I was walking into someone else's house and I wasn't wanted almost. It was just, it had a feel. And the lady that lives there, she's really into her history. So she did her own viewings, and basically she just told me all the history that I wanted to hear about anything.
Tick, 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 tick.
All the boxes. And yeah, when we finally got round to, say, it used to be 2 cottages, and she knocked it through into one. So potentially, well, it's 2 400-year-old cottages together. Now there's a well on the land, which I personally believe water has energy, holds energy,
Yes.
and I think
Yeah.
that's got a big thing to be a big part to play. On top of that, she exposed some of the original beams a few years back. She found teeth, she found bones, she found a witch's bottle in the fireplace and children's shoes. Now, if you look up all this, I mean, I'm just reading through a folklore of witchcraft in Dorset and Wiltshire. This village is noted in there for a very well-known witch of that time. And so it's just got so much history there, and there's a lot of the things. I mean, she's kept it completely as it is. It's still got the original flagstones, obviously the windows, doors, everything's as it was. So nothing's new in there. And so when I go in there, I'm just going to keep it as it is. Obviously, the few little bits that need to be done. So I'm hoping that will hold the history. But then also when she moves, maybe that will stir up activity as well, because obviously moving things, taking stuff out, it's been settled for for 3 decades.
So the items that she found, are they still there? Has she binned them? What?
She put she told me she put the teeth went into the museum. She's put a few things in the museum. There's the original things that they found in the fireplace that are still there, which are staying there. Nothing's been touched at all. There's say she found the witch's bottle. I read up they used to put bull's urine in a bottle and that ward off bad spirits, witches, that sort of stuff. She's found it all there. So it's so interesting. What would have spiked that fear for people to put those things and hidden in their place to ward off? I think must have scared them at that time.
That's amazing. It's like Pendle Hill 2.0.
Yeah, it's very much like ancient Ram-esque. It used to be an old inn as well.
Yeah.
So it's got that sort of vibe to it, and definitely the stairs. Like if you've been to the ancient Ram, obviously you've seen like the stairs there. It's quite similar. So.
Wow. Well, I hope it all goes well for you. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, you'll have to come and have a visit.
100%. So we've got a question from Gail. Compared to the UK, going back centuries, and the US just a few hundred years, would the activity automatically be more intense in the UK? Do you think?
For me, the cottage has never been exposed to investigations. So I believe if a place is investigated over and over and over, it draws energy out.
Mm-hmm.
I think this place will be pretty interesting to get into. There's been reports of sightings from the previous owner. There was a lady in there. This goes right back, and she was seeing something in there and reported it. Was that residual? I don't know. The lady that's in there now, her daughter would never sleep on her own from the age of when she was in there, born, to the age of when she left when she was in her late teens, because she was scared of the house. Yeah, I don't know whether that energy in that house is untapped, because there's not been anyone going in investigating. So possibly.
Wow. That sounds like you're going to have such an awesome time down there.
It should be good. Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of what's in there and what's going on. We're interested.
And keep it there. Keep all this stuff
there. Keep it there.
Yeah. So what's the best location that you've filmed at? That's what I do. That you've worked at, with Haunted Happenings.
I would say I've got 2. It'd be difficult to say which is the active that I've experienced. I would say definitely Dorchester Prison, as I keep banging on about it. And also the Rifles Museum in Salisbury. That's an amazing place to go and investigate. I think there's a couple of people I saw pop up that have been on events with me there. We've had some really strange stuff happen. So just a little insight. There's a huge oak table in the library. Now the Rifles is known as the wardrobe. It was where the bishop used to go and used to keep all his wares, and it would be where he would stay short term. And the Rifles predates the cathedral there, so it's really old, really old. And the bishop is meant to be a very nice spirit. So in his room where the library is, we were all sat around this huge oak table. It must have been about sort of, I don't know, 11 foot long, really heavy table. I mean, you can barely pull the chairs away. It's proper old oak table.
Yeah.
And we've had to do a bit of a seance around the table. So we've got all the guests to sit back, hands up, so we could see everyone's hands, pull away from the table so no one could lift anything with their knees. Not that you could anyway, it was so heavy. And we just started doing a bit of a call out, and this table started to vibrate. And we had an EDI on the table, so you could see the vibrations coming through. Yeah. And then K2 started spiking up, and then this table lifted off the floor and slammed down. I was probably the first one to scream. And I mean, I've been there 5-6 years, and I've never seen it happen since, which is almost verifies that it generally, I can't tell you what that was. It's nothing that's happened since.
Yeah.
It was very strange, yeah. That's an amazing place to go, and it's a small place as well, so it's small groups in there, which is good.
I like small groups. I hate big ones.
Yeah, that can really make or break a night, I think, if you have too many people. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a smaller group. You got less contamination, and I think that's so much better.
Yeah, 100%.
Ada says 100% the rifles is fantastic. Loads of activity, especially in the attic. Nice one, Nat.
Yeah, Sarah knows what I'm talking about. She's been on quite a few investigations, and the rifles is probably one of our favourites.
Yeah, it is a good thing when you have ones that you go to knowing that, well, we're probably going to have a good night on this. Because when I used to do events back in the day, I didn't do too many. I used to do like 4 or 5 a year for a few years. And the first thing for me would be, well, the first thought would be like, right, is this going to be active? Are people happy? Are they going to be bored? Are they going to be annoyed? And then as soon as the first thing starts happening, I'm like, yes, inside. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, I'm cool now. Let's go. You know, we've started to get something happening.
I think as well, the energy, when people start to get hyped, and I think that just heightens the energy. And I think the paranormal feed off energy, they need energy. And I think, so if you've got a group in that's given it all, then you're more than likely you're going to get some form of activity. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had
that don't speak all night, and it is like pulling teeth? Honestly, you got some group going in there, and you're sat there, and there's just everyone sat in silence, and you're thinking, yeah, it's hard work.
Yeah, I've had a few of them. And it's like, wow, it's just me talking. No one's getting involved. It's like, wow, come on, people. You know, you paid me money for this. You've got to get involved as well.
That's
it. Have you ever had any people turn up skeptics and, oh, this is a load of rubbish, the wife brought me, and then in the end they leave and it's like, wow, I want to come again?
Yeah, many. We had someone come to I was at Dorchester 2 weeks ago, and we had a husband that was a designated driver, just didn't want to be there, completely just skeptic, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be hard work tonight. And halfway through the night, he was absolutely buzzing. He had an experience, and he couldn't explain what it was, and he was like, loan time. He was like, I'm going back out for more. I need, And by the end of it, his wife was one was like, do you want to go home now? He's like, no, we've got to carry on, and that's always great to see, because that's great, because I'm not, like when we go in there, we're not pushing it on people. We want people to have their own experience. So if they get that, it's like your night's done, job done.
Yeah, that's the important thing, because then obviously you're not faking anything. They're the only people that are involved with it. If something happens, it happens, and they're more likely to come back again and then enjoy, get to know the team like you did at the beginning, and it becomes like friendship, doesn't it?
It does.
The more you go on events, you see the same people, and it's nice. The community sometimes is nice, not always, but
no, it's very mixed. Like I say, like I've made so many friends through doing it and meeting people, and like then you get on a name first name basis with some of the guests that keep coming back for more. You do get your odd ones quite often, but yeah, it's really nice because you go. It's not going to work. It's like I can go see some people that I know, go and have a great night in the location. So yeah, it's brilliant.
That's what we like to hear. Everyone's enjoying themselves. Mark Williams, hello sir, hope you're good. So while doing your events, have you ever had an incident happen where you've had to cancel or delay vigils for however long because something's happened?
Yeah, quite often, yeah.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it takes quite a while to get the energy going. And say, for instance, you've got a 30-minute vigil and you get 20 minutes in and people start getting into it and they get a bit more confidence, do a bit more calling out, and all of a sudden stuff starts happening and you're done and you're like, oh, just hold on for another 10 minutes, and then someone comes looking for you because they're waiting with their team and they're getting pissed off because we're still in another room carrying on. Yeah, we've had it quite, I think it takes a bit of time sometimes to get into it because people need to settle down and sort of, especially if they're first timers, it takes a little bit to get into it and get the confidence to call out. And but once they do, like I say, it's definitely like an energy thing. If you've got team effort going on with the energy, it definitely helps the activity.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. So Paranormal Twins TV. Hi Nat, what a fun and bubbly energy you would be on location. And Miki, the rugged natural look, she said. Thank you. I've always been like this, but it's getting grayer every week, I think. So thank you for the lovely comments. So one of the things that, sorry if you don't mind, we're going to keep talking about events because obviously that is what you do. And that one of the things that used to annoy me when I did my events was, how do I say this without abusing or insulting somebody? Right. So, you get the people on there where they're there with their friends and all they do is like they giggle too much. They're always laughing. It's like some people are serious. Things are happening and they just not mess about, but they're not as serious as others. That used to really annoy me. Is it still happening on events?
To be fair, we've been really, let's say lucky. When we do our intro at the start of the night, we do put across that if you're gonna mess about at all, then it's out straight away because it's a lot of money to go on these events and people want to go on there and take it seriously. So when we start the night, we do sort of say that there's no second chances. If you're going to be messing about, then you're out. And we have had to have a conversation with people and let them know. A few people have literally just made the tour and then they've been sort of told they need to leave because they're too disruptive. But again, like if I'm a guest in an event and I paid a lot of money, then if someone's doing that, then they've got to be told. We had one the other week and there was a guy and it was like we're in pitch black and he's got this huge, I don't know what this camera was. It was like a professional camera. And we're all stood opposite each other along this wall and you can't even see your hand in your face. He starts taking the pictures with the flash on. And you're like, I don't even know if he's joking. Who would do this? So you had to be at the point where you have to say, if you're going to take a picture, can you please let everyone know first? But can you just not do it in the dark, facing somebody? You do get people like that, unfortunately. I think in everything you do, you get those people. But we definitely sort of we'll cut that out completely. If we did one at the Rifles, and a big group turned up. They'd all been on the side all afternoon. And I was like, no. I was posting it, and I was like, oh, this is just going to end really badly. This is just. So at the very start of the night, I had a little chat with them on the side. I was like, look, I'm going to put you in your own group because I think you're going to upset a few people here. And they were cracking. They were really good. And I think because they were G'd up anyway, they were really, the other group just gravitated towards them because they just put everything into it. And I think, again, the energy was so high. But there's definitely no tolerance for it. Not when we do our events.
No. At least they're not singing Flash Gordon anymore, because in the old days, he used to say Flash, they went, oh. That's what that was like 2010.
Yeah, we always say if you're going to flash, it's not a command.
Or that one. Like the little jokes come out. It's brilliant. So on your events, do you use equipment, gadgets, old Victorian style investigating? What sort of range do haunted happenings do?
So I think we're very tech based.
Okay.
We obviously, if you've done investigations, you'll know what I'm talking about. But obviously, K2s, cat balls. We use Ouija boards, glass divination, table tipping. There's other methods that we'll use if we're doing a watch and wait. So, for instance, a grid pen or maybe mag lights. We do SS method, which is always interesting. But again, I think sometimes just sit in a dark room on your own and just channel in to what's going on around you. And I think sometimes you miss a lot of things going on if you're focusing on a device. For instance, when we do the prisons, like you've got the walkways above you and you're not even looking up there because you're staring at the floor at a ball. And sometimes you miss it. You miss what's going on, because we've done events like I say at Shepton, and I saw you mentioned it the other day. You know what it's like. You've got 3 floors above you, and sometimes all you do is just sit there and look up, and you definitely can see things going on sometimes. Whereas if you've got a device on the floor, you're just missing on so much around you.
Yeah, Septa Mallet. I've only been there twice. The first time was last year, and I was blown away by it. I've always wanted to investigate an old prison. Like I've been to Derby Jail, them sort of places, the old prison that's in the Midlands, but a proper old metal door cells with the wings and all the, like you see in the films, you know. And for me, that place, it just blew my mind. It's like, wow. And the ultimate thing for me was what I was trying to capture when I was there last. I was there with Mark Williams, and we were in C Wing, obviously where the Krays were, and I was just walking along like the walkways, just looking. I want to capture a figure coming out of a cell. That would be the holy. I would give up then.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening or watching and make that happen, I'll happily hang up my ghost hunting boots. You know, for me, that's my ultimate. But sorry, what was that?
I said you'd still be hooked. You still want more. Once you get that, you see that, you want more. You want them to have a chat with you. You still want more. You never give up.
Shh, don't tell them. They might do it, you know.
We had an interesting one at Shepton actually on B Wing, and I've got the pictures. I'll have to send them to you. And a guest on one event took a picture of a cell, and you could almost see it was a black figure in the doorway, and you could even see the cap, the police cap, sort of. A couple of months later, a guest took pictures on the same wing, same shadow, different part of the wing. So for us as like investigators that go to these places week in, week out, you start gathering the same evidence that people have caught over and over and over, and then you start thinking that's definitely residual energy still there, stone tape wall theory and things like that. There's definitely something there in those walls, and obviously it's held there, and people have picked up pictures and really interesting things over the years there. A dog in the hanging room at Shepton. Someone caught with a dog. I mean, I guess they would have had sort of, guard dogs with them then. Someone did a photo burst, and there was one picture, nothing. Second picture, you see a slight mist. Third picture, clear as day dog. Fourth picture, it's like dissipated, and then it's gone. It was strange. So definitely odd.
Wow. And people say ghosts aren't real. There must be something, what is it? What are these things? So Shepton is awesome. Lots of activity, especially in the old infirmary. Loads of children reacting to nursery rhymes. Massive activity, plus dog pressing against the leg.
There you go.
Yeah, we were trying to speak to the children the other week in the infirmary. Quite quiet in there, to be fair, but it's still a great place. I'd go back every week if I could.
Yeah,
but it's a long drive though for me.
It's a long drive. It's that drive home. It's a killer.
Oh yeah, I nearly crashed on the way home the other week, but we won't go into that. So, do you think that these locations are actually haunted, or do you think that people that are coming to the events bring a lot of the spirits with them?
I think it's both. I think yes, definitely. There's definitely something there that stays there. That there's people have experienced names that have come through week after week, and for instance, the same things that have been caught. But I also think loved ones stay with you, and when they pass, they're never far. And I do think when do you get an opportunity to sit and communicate, for instance, with a loved one that's passed, and when you're in that environment and you're channeled in, and for instance, you've got a Ouija board or something in front of you that you're using, the amount of times that guests have sort of had to go out teary because someone's come through for them, and only that person knows the answers to the questions they're asking, and those answers are coming through, and sometimes not even touching the board. I've seen it for myself. Yes, I firmly believe there's plenty of people that push that planchette about with the white finger, and you can see them doing it. It does happen, but there has been times I've seen just the reaction of the person, and you know that that's not put on, that's not fake. So I do think there are times that people come and their loved ones are with them, and they come through when they can get the opportunity to.
Oh yeah, 100%. We've had that on Ouija boards before, where the people aren't even on the table, and like their nans come through with their nickname, and it's like these people are just on the board thinking, "What's that? Don't make sense." And then you got the person over there that's bawling their eyes out, or it's
for them, everything coming through is they get it, and the person on the board, they just don't. It's nothing connected to them. So I do believe that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't explain it. I'd say majority of the time people are moving it. Same with table tipping, but when you get responses like that, and it's like, wow, they have no clue what they're doing. These people, this is the message for Brian over there. His mum's just died or whatever, and she's there. It's like, wow, it's very powerful, I think.
Yeah, I think it's very comforting, and I think,
yes.
For me, I joined the team just after I lost my mum, and I think part of me went into that because I was always searching for, her to come through some way, to come and make contact. And I think that's what pushed me to go more into it, because I think it's comforting when you get someone like that coming through on a table, or say, for instance, an investigation. It's not scary. It's nice. They're still with you.
Yeah, it's the little signs that they give, isn't it?
Yeah.
That only you would know about and recognize, and it's just like a little comfort thing. Right, I'm all good. I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm watching over you. It's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. One thing I will look at doing with the cottage is doing a few medium nights on very sort of small platforms. I've been doing a few evenings at there's a local pub, and it was on actually. What's the lockdown with Nick Groff?
Paranormal Lockdown.
They went there. It's a pub in Swanage, and I pass it all the time because I go to the beach there. And I stopped in there and met the landlady and got chatting to her, and she said there's a paranormal evening we do every other week. We don't advertise it. It's just for locals, and we have a guest in every week. And would you like to come along and see what it's about? We only have a small number, and so I started to go. And a couple of times I went, nothing at all for me. And a couple of times I went and I had some stuff come through, but couldn't make sense of it. Very generic stuff. But I have had 2 or 3 readings which were so personal, which no one else knew, which I don't put my life on social media, so there's no way they could have looked me up. They didn't even know I was going, so it's not like they could look me up. So I'd like to take a couple of evenings like that with some of the really reputable mediums that I've met, because again, I think it's quite. Some people might not want to go into the environment of a derelict prison to go on a ghosty, scary hunt, but they also want the comfort to know that there is something else there. For instance, if they've lost someone, and that'd be quite nice to hold an evening like that, so people can experience the paranormal, but in a positive, comforting way.
Yeah, definitely. That's the problem at the moment. It's not paranormal is not really positive. Unfortunately, it's very toxic at the moment. And anything to promote the positivity and the togetherness and the community is definitely something that I'm happy to be involved in and play a part in. So that's great that you guys are trying that as well.
Yeah.
David, I hope you're good. Thank you for joining this evening. So you're talking about mediums. Do you have mediums on your Haunted Happenings team?
No, not that I've met. They might be closet mediums. I have not met one on the team. I've met many guests that come along that I picked up on some interesting things.
Yeah.
But no, not in our team.
What are your thoughts on mediums?
I think there's very far and few between that are genuine.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, there are too many out there that take advantage of people looking for a loved one to come through. I mean, you could say to someone, your nan's there, the chances are if you're sort of hitting 50s and 60s, yeah, your nan will be passed, but they will pick up on things that anyone could have experienced, but it's those things that no one else could ever know. It's those real specific details that no one could ever know that that would make you believe. And like I say, I have had maybe 2 or 3 readings in my time, and after my mum passed, I was always looking. I went to see a few mediums, I knew what was coming through. If it was my mum, she wouldn't be saying those things. So I knew.
Yeah.
But then I did see a couple of mediums that I can't explain how they knew some of those things they were telling me. But again, unfortunately, people do it to make money out. So you just need to be very careful. And if you do see one, I would definitely do your research on who you're seeing before you go and see them.
See, I know a few people that are mediums, and to be fair, they've never ever done a reading for me. I've not asked for one. They've not offered me one, which is how I like it. You know, if we're investigating and something comes through and say, I don't know, there's a man over there, he's got like this on his face or whatever, he's wearing this sort of clothing. And then we're say using equipment or something, and that sort of corresponds with that. I like it when a medium just tells you something that they've experienced or they're getting a message and then they leave it rather than trying to push it the narrative, you know, like this is who that is, you know. I don't like that sort of style.
Yeah, I think I think if anyone's ever watched the Derren Brown one where he was with the medium, it's interesting because you can so see he's just playing on it, and he catches them out so much on there. But yeah, I just think you should be so careful who you go to for a reading, because you could also get told something that you don't want to hear, and it's not right. And I just think, yeah, you just need to be really careful. Yeah, so. But we do get quite a few coming on our investigations.
What, mediums?
Mm.
Yeah. Have you found recently that, I'd say, how long you been with them? Sorry.
6 years.
6 years. So have you got? I can't ask this because it will be too bad for your guests. Okay. I'll tell you, when I did it, I would be doing some of the guests would be the same year by year, and then they would just be normal guests, and then like the second or third year they're full-blown mediums and they're getting possessed in the corner on a chair, and it's like, you're lying. You know, and it's like, I've seen there's too many of them now. Everybody's a medium, and you know, I've done a couple of shows on here about it, and it gives mediums that are genuine a bad reputation. And it's like, oh, you're a medium, yeah, right, so am I, haha. You know, it's not good for them, for the genuine ones.
Yeah, it's bad rap. I think when you go into a prison that's sort of 400 years old, and you know that there's, you know, a hanging room, and someone walks in, and it's like, someone's died in here. You're like, no shit, Sherlock.
Well, my neck's a bit sore. Yeah.
Such a cough. Oh,
Yeah.
I feel a rope around my neck now. You did it. And obviously, it's difficult, isn't it? How do you deal with that when you're hosting and you've got a guest sort of fully on putting on, you know, the award situation, and you're like, don't really know what to say, because obviously you can't be rude about it either.
No. Oh wow. Yeah, maybe.
Should we just try it?
Yeah, you have to be very tactile, don't you, for that? I'm sure.
You have to learn to have a tact, I think.
Yeah. So many fake mediums out there these days, as well as fake investigators, gives us genuine ones a bad name. It does indeed. And unfortunately, that is what is wrong with the paranormal now. It's become too popular, and everyone's trying to get as much money out of it as they can, unfortunately. And you know which people these are, because they're only in it for like a year or two. They disappear. Yeah. They haven't made their money. It's not what they thought it was going to be. And then they just try something else.
I think the case is that when you're watching a program and they're getting activity back to back non-stop, you know it's fake, because it doesn't happen like that. It really doesn't. You could be in a place for 6 hours and experience one tiny thing, and that'll be genuine. Yeah. Whereas you know that's genuine. Whereas who's going to watch a TV program for an hour when they're just sat in the dark and nothing's happening? So of course they're going to embellish it and make out there's stuff going on. So I think that's where you watch some of these programs on YouTube, and you're like, you can genuinely see they've sat there all night and they've had nothing, but maybe the K2 spiked at this random moment, and then you could probably maybe question that, yes, that's genuine. And again, that's going back to the cottage. That's what I want to give people. I was thinking about putting, I'm going to do a 24-hour lockdown. So when you go in there, it's 6 till 6. And I'm going to put some cameras around to catch everything going on in each room, even in the empty rooms, and just document what goes on. We've got a piano in one room set up, for instance. That's going to be interesting. Will that play? Will it not play? And then a couple of other trigger objects in other rooms, and just sort of set it up so it's just covered back to back. So if there's any sort of activity, people can look at the footage and can see if it's genuine, you know. because I think that's sometimes it's gone sort of to just entertainment now. I think the paranormal world, I think people just make money off of it, and you know, a lot of it's not genuine. I think people want to see the real stuff going on. So
Yeah. With your house that you're going to acquire, I think it will be good having the cameras there. So obviously, you said you're going to have them all. Are they going to be on all the time, like even when the guests are there? Because I
I'd
suppose
like,
sometimes they might want evidence. They might want to get some of your footage, maybe.
yeah, I think it's a great idea, because I think when it's empty, then and you've
Yeah.
got bigger objects, and the rooms are locked down. If there's
Mm.
something going on, you're not, you know, you're going to catch it, and so it's a lot of viewing, yeah. But it would be amazing to actually capture that, you know, genuine activity going on. And for instance, if someone's in one of these rooms and it's being filmed and there's activity going on, or there's a noise somewhere and you're in a different room and you're watching and something happens in another room, I think it just gives all angles covered, sort of thing. You know, nothing's set up. It's all completely genuine. And I think it'll work. So I think that's what it's missing at the minute.
Yeah, there's only probably 2 places that I know of that is 24/7 CCTV inside a haunted location, and it's people do want to see it. You know, people do want that to happen, because if I had a location, that's what I would do, 100%. You know, I'd probably stream it on YouTube.
Well, you could, couldn't you? Because people
Yeah,
see it just happening like for like time. You might miss
yeah,
something. You've got someone watching it at that time, and you can say, look back at that time in that
yeah,
room, and you've caught something. You know, what more could you get more authentic than that? Like, you know, that's the good stuff you want to catch.
yeah. Obviously, when the teams are there, you cut the live stream to YouTube then, because obviously they want some privacy. But you know, that would be when there's no one there. That would
Yeah.
be amazing to do, and I don't know how many other people do it. Not to YouTube, I don't think.
I don't know. I mean,
So,
yeah, it's not something I've really looked. You know, I think, is it Priest Cottage? I think have CCTV. Not many. And again, it's not while I don't think it's while guests are in there. I don't know if they do it when it's empty. I'm not sure.
I know the Rams got footage because we've took footage before when we've been there and we've had stuff happen. But then we had to pay for that an
Yeah,
awful lot of money, which I think it's a total rip-off. But hey, hey, I'm
yeah,
never going back there, so I
yeah.
don't care. But you know, I think my haunted hotel do in Chester. I think that's CCTV. I don't think that's live stream though, but they have it 24/7. I think the haunted museum in Stoke, I think Craig's museum, he does that, but I don't know where you can access that or if you can. But yeah, great idea. I think what you've got you're onto a winner with that 100%. I think that's going to be awesome.
Fingers crossed. I say that just the history there. The more I'm digging into it, and the more I'm reading about the history of the witches, it was known as the Witches' Nest, the actual village. And the more I'm reading into it, it's just even if it's, you know, it's an amazing piece of history, just the place on itself. But yeah, we plan to hopefully, with the well, hopefully open that up as well. So that would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So have you ever had any evidence, I suppose you would have done from your earlier answer, evidence that made you think, wow, this stuff is actually real? Like obviously when you were younger in that house, or did you think maybe because it was a long time ago, your memory is not,
Yeah, I
you
don't
know,
know.
some clarity may not be there, but then again, that would take away from your experience, I suppose. But
Yeah,
some people would say that, but
again, I think when you're younger, I think you do experience stuff. You view life in a different way. You don't, you know, you're not exposed to paranormal
innocent.
when you're young. You're innocent, and everything
Yeah,
is different. I mean, my daughter has said something before to me, and so the night that my mum passed away, I went over to my dad's, and my youngest would have been 3 or 4, and so she was in bed asleep. It happened in the night, and so I stayed over my dad's for the night. And when I came home, obviously no one had spoke to my children. She was too young to understand
yeah,
at that time. But she said to me, Nanny came in my room last night, and I was talking to her, but she couldn't hear me. So that was really weird, because it was just what she said. Now, I know for a fact that my mum would have gone and seen her, you know, and visited her it could just have been a dream, but was she just more open and susceptible to seeing her? You know, and it's like animals. Again, I believe animals see things completely. They don't have that filter. I think when you grow up, you have a filter. You're sort of almost sort of shamed for believing there's something else there, paranormal. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I definitely think probably most of us have experienced something at some point. It's just whether we realise or not.
Yeah, I mean, how many times? Whenever I'll restart that question. So, most of the sightings that people have, yeah, they're in the daytime, aren't they? I don't know, they're in a house, they're doing their normal day-to-day stuff, they're at work, they see something. The more likelihood is you're going to see a ghost in the daytime. Now, whether you know it's a ghost is another thing. Like, you're going to see, you've probably seen loads of ghosts every day, every week. You just don't know they are. But so why do we think we can go into a location at night, totally different to where most, probably 99% of sightings happen, and think we're going to get anything?
Yeah, you try to explain that to 34 guests.
I know. It's like, why did you not come earlier when this was like, staff were here working away? You know, what are you doing here?
Chances are they'd see more on a day tour when it's empty, walking around the day, than what they see sometimes at night. They just don't realise that they're seeing it. Yeah, definitely. And signs as well. I believe, like, you get signs that maybe you miss. You know, there's definitely something there, whatever it be to you personal. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a place that you would love haunted happenings to acquire, to investigate as one of your regular locations?
My cottage.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of places that I've been on as a guest that we haven't got at the minute. For instance, Wimmering Manor in Portsmouth, that was an interesting one. There's the Explosions Museum in Portsmouth. That was one of my earlier ones I did. That was an amazing place. They're all places that we're putting forward, and slowly we're gathering more. Yeah, there's some, I think, some places that are hidden gems. I mean, we've got Shire Hall in Dorchester, which is just up the road from the prison. It's where they were sentenced before they went down to Dorchester prison. And that's the courthouse. So you've got the courthouse, and you've got underground, you've got the cells, and that's a really interesting place there. That's, again, if you're local, you know it, but if you're not, you would never know it even existed. And again, I think it's the hidden gems like that. It's the places that haven't been overdone that are the ones that are really active.
Yeah. So paranormal twins are telling me off. Time is irrelevant. It's when you jump in and out of alpha state is when you see, Miki. Okay, thank you. I'm just saying, the fact you go there at night, totally different atmosphere to when, these normal occurrences happen. That's all. But I understand people want to go there when it's quiet, when it's dark, when it's more accessible. The outside noise is gone, So, but I mean, I do it, so I can't say nothing.
You expect something to happen at night, don't you? Whereas during the day, you're not waiting for something to happen. But when you're sat in a dark room or a dark cell on your own, you're waiting for something to happen, as opposed to having a walk around and it's happening around you, but you're just not aware of it or looking for it at that moment. I think you can be, like I say, hyper focused on a piece of equipment on the floor, and you're missing stuff going on around you. Same thing. I think you're walking down, the street, and you're having a chat. You're not necessarily looking or expecting to see something. So what are you missing?
Yeah, maybe your mind is open at that point to seeing something, and when you're focused on it, you can't see it. But who knows? We'll never know until we meet Judgment Day, I suppose.
Yeah, to the other side.
Yeah. So do you have, with haunted happenings? Is it just England you have locations, or is it Scotland, Wales, Ireland?
They do international. They did do. I think I went to Romania at one point. I think I wasn't there at this point. So
Bram Castle, yeah.
Yeah. They obviously do Pendle Hill, which is like a weekend tour. yeah, they do it. I know they are looking back into to push it further afield again to do more of the sort of international ones. So I think it's great. I'd love to be able to go to Brands Castle.
Yeah, come on, get me on it.
Yeah,
Put your name down on top of the list.
Yeah.
So have you had any famous guests on Haunted Happenings? I know over the years I've seen them in like local news stories on the TV, newspapers, etc. Have you seen any or heard of any famous people that have been on some of your events?
Yeah, we had so at Dorchester Prison the other week, one of our guests, he is the producer to a few sort of famous people, and he's been on many events with us, and I've met him a few times, and he asked if we could do sort of like a little bit of a filming session at Dorchester. So we had Dapper Laughs, Daniel O'Reilly with us, and we had Shona McGarty, Whitney off EastEnders.
Jungle, yeah.
Yeah, in the jungle, and then we had we had a really nice medium join us as well, and she's quite known. She's international. So Tracy, they came and they did. I mean, I have to say, Dapper lasted 10 minutes, I think.
Wow.
Couldn't hack it. He got into the prison, and I think it just got to. He just couldn't do it. But Shona and her sister, she stayed with us all night, and Tracy did, and yeah, they had loads going on. I think they're in editing stage of it at the minute because that will be released. But
oh wow, do you know what that'll be released on?
I'm not quite sure which platform is going to put it on at the minute. It's still going through it because they're doing a few things at the minute, so it's in the line to come out. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see because we caught some interesting stuff. Me and the lady that was the psychic, she went off, but we caught some stuff, EVPs, which she sent to me since, and it was just us, and it was that you can really hear it, what's being said in there. So that'll be interesting when that comes out. So
Brancaster is excellent. I take it you've been on that trip then. It does look good. It is something. I tried to hire that once. I got told I could hire it for 2,300 euros.
That would have been a hefty cost, wouldn't it? Hiring Brancaster.
Yeah, but I've been quoted like Shrewsbury Prison, 3.5 grand. So I could go to Romania, see Dracula for that, and have some spare change, So, guys, we've got a couple of questions left for Natalie. If you want to get any questions to her, please put them in the comments so she can answer them for you. Been twice with Haunted Happenings, very active. Oh, cool.
Have you been on one of the events with me? Out of interest.
Yeah, Beam Mobile. I love the Halloween picture. I love it. So, my second to last question, bucket list location. This is for you personally, not for work. If you could go and take whoever you wanted, wherever the world you want to go, bucket list location, you can stay there for however long you want. Where would you go to investigate?
I don't know if it's a bit cliche or not, though. See, I personally don't believe ghost adventurers at all. I think they're the biggest hoaxers going that I've watched. But I'd love to go to the museum just because of what they've got in there.
Oh, Zach's Museum, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see stuff they've got in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the earlier days, I think they were great, and I think the more and more it's become popular, I think they've had to do more and more to stay in keeping with it. But I'd love to go there. There's some of it of a history buff as well, so I like some of the stuff the artifacts. I'd love to see some of the stuff they've got.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yes, many with Nat. Okay, and the secret mask person. you know them. There you go. Exploring entity. Mine would be Alcatraz. It went there in the day and would love to investigate it. Wow, that is a place that many people actually do give as their answer that I've interviewed for obvious reasons. Really, it's just such an amazing place. But yeah, one day maybe we'll get there. We would love to tell you off, but you haven't agreed the NDA. Night, been a blast. Good to see you. You're better. Thank you for joining this evening. See you in a bit. See you next time. Yes. So my last question for this evening: if you could get rid of one thing in the paranormal, it's gone forever, it's never coming back, something that really annoys you, you know, what would it be? What would you get rid of?
Just a bitchiness, to be fair. Just want to keep it positive, like, you know. Yeah, I think the paranormal community has gone a bit the wrong way at the minute, and there's a lot of like hate going on. I also think, yeah, it's a difficult one to say. You put me on the spot a bit there.
So it's the last question I'm allowed.
Hard to say because I work for such a good company, but I've been with people that have faked quite a few things, and I hate that when you go on a place. I've been to one of my favourite places with another company as a guest, and I hate the fact that they were faking things because for instance, I know that place is active, and it really annoyed me because any activity that the guests get that night, it writes it off, because if you know then there's fakeness going on, it just ruins it for everyone. So yeah, if anyone's faking stuff on a night out, I hate that. That should definitely be a no-no.
Yeah, would you, extra question, if you saw that on your event, would you bring that up, like one of your guests, like they're throwing things behind, oh my god, bang?
Have done. It's happened many times. They do airsoft on the prisons, and the little balls get flinged around, and you can see someone mid throwing it, and you just call it out straight away. Can't happen. Yeah, can't happen. It just ruins it for everyone. And I hate that, because then genuinely, when you do get things happen, you question it, and so when you're in a real, genuinely active place and people do that, it's just definitely a no-no.
Wow, the balls on people, that's just stupid. That is really sad. David, I have at Dorchester Prison, Nat, and you need to book again. So you got another guest on the way.
Definitely, Dorchester's brilliant, and Shepton, Dave. Seen you at Shepton many a time too.
Yes, great place. Tracy, thank you, Miki, for another awesome podcast. Natalie, thank you for your stories.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tracy. Time to start your day. So is there any way that people can contact you, whether personally or with the Haunted Happenings team, to book an event, to speak to you about your upcoming cottage, on socials at all?
Yeah, so I haven't created a page just yet for the cottage. We're in the final stages of completion, which is going to be happening very soon. Soon as that is up and going, that'll be straight on. And like I say, we just want to start getting it all into the right place. We want to get the place safely done up. So as you imagine, it's very old. So as soon as that's up and running, we'll be putting the events on for that. Again, very small groups, like I say. So I'll put that out and share that. Haunted Happenings obviously have their website, and you can find the contact details, email and phone number on there to contact for an event. And again, feel free to contact me through social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I'm always more than happy to help if you've got any questions about any locations, or you would like me to sort of put forward your booking to the main guys at that. So yeah, just give us a shout.
Awesome. That sounds like a plan for everybody. Get involved. Tracy, on my third coffee. Don't blame you. So, Natalie, it's been a pleasure. It's been really nice talking to you again. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And I'll possibly see you in your cottage.
It's going.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you in a bit.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, guys, what an awesome guest Natalie is. Please, please, please go down and go onto Haunted Happenings website, book an event. You might be lucky enough to investigate with Natalie, and I'm sure it will be awesome. Yes, guys, so thank you so much for joining me this evening. Is there a guest next week? Who knows? You'll have to tune in and find out. If not, there'll be a Ghostly Reacts video, or it'll just be me chatting rubbish to you lot about the paranormal and what's annoyed me this week. So, yes, guys, we do actually have a very good episode coming soon. I think the 19th of May. So Tuesday, as always, 7:30. And we have some awesome women of the paranormal. They will all be there together, a big group. It's going to be explosive, guys. So hopefully you can join me for that. Subscribe, share, like, all that shizzle. And I will see you guys next week. See you later.